What is good, guys? I am Stormy Rebel, and welcome to another video. Now, for today's video, I don't really do this on the channel at all, but I'm assuming that this could be something in the future that I might do. But I just had to share this with you guys because I'm really excited of what I have right here because, I usually, if for you guys who don't know, I do shop on eBay a lot for a lot of great vintage action figures and just figures in general. And if you guys may know, or if you don't know, I am kind of quite the historian on the both world wars that have happened, and I do literally try my hardest to find World War One and World War Two figures. But I'm usually mostly fixated on the World War One kind of stuff because, since it happened hundreds of years ago and stuff. You guys may notice that I used to have some action men at the back of my my bed. Now it's just got some Pokemon plushies because I usually like the cute ones. But today I found something to do with Action Man and World War, but this one is like his American cousin, G.I. Joe, which I'm pretty sure you're all familiar with. And also, well, I think this one that I'm about to review is one of the rarest ever, and I mean the rarest ever. It cost me quite the money to get this guy. So I do have a G.I. Joe German stormtrooper or a German senior corporal. So here we go. So yeah, here we go. This is the G.I. Joe World War One German soldier. And as you can see, I don't know what year this was made. It'll probably say it somewhere on the box or something. Now, as you guys know, this guy has never been taken out of his box, so I think that's possibly why it cost me quite a bit. So here we can hear Foreign Soldiers Collection, World War One German Infantry Senior Corporal, 1st Westphalian Regiment. And there's G.I. Joe in his World War One German outfit. So yeah, guys, like I said, this guy is extremely rare to find. And when I mean extremely rare, I mean severely extremely rare. Because they have made G.I. Joe World War II soldiers in 1964. Because they did the British, the French, the Russian, the Japanese, Australian, and the German stormtroopers. But this one is from World War One, which I am really excited about. And I also have a 1/6 scale Dragon German gas mask, which I think is somewhere over here, just on the... Yep. Oh. Can't get it. Well, there's the canister. I think the mask fell out. Just give me a minute. Here it is. So yeah, I have this 1/6 scale Dragon World War One German gas mask, which I have been using for the Action Men World War Two German Stormtrooper, but since now I've got the G.I. Joe World War One Stormtrooper, I think I'll put it on him since it makes more sense. So yeah. Oh, here we go. It was made in can it focus? 2001 by Hasbro. Also, we've got others here. We've got the German soldier, which is the one I've got. And we've got a modern day Israel Defense Force soldier. I'm not really bothered about the Israeli soldier because, well, I don't really like modern uniforms. So yeah. Anyways, guys, I am going to pause the video right now and I'll get back to you as soon as I crack this bad boy open. Okay, guys, so here we now have the G.I. Joe German Stormtrooper out of packaging. And to be honest, he looks really nice. I'll give him that. I like the uniform. I like the pickle-helmed helmet. And yeah, but there are some gripes that I have with this action figure though. So I think he has gripes with it because of him like being never opened. So because when I went to try and put the rifle in his hand, his hands and his arms are actually made out of a skin rubber, and when you try and turn them, they don't, turn the way that you want them to, or how much you want them to. But anyway, so that's why it looks like he's not holding his rifle correctly, and he has a scabber on the front of the rifle, which gives it an extra long piece. And he's got the mud-soaked boots on there, which look really nice. They're a bit sticky as well, because sometimes when you unbox action figures like that, they do tend to get a bit sticky. But the main gripe that I do have with this guy is the helmet. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the helmet. It's actually one of my favourite German helmets that I like. As you can see, it's got the one spike and the Prussian eagle here. Well, like I say, with the gripe, it just comes off like that. Like, look at that. There's no strap, no nothing. There's no nothing to connect the helmet to his head, so it just like kind of sits there. So if ever a child was playing with this, that would be the biggest gripe, because the helmet would just keep falling off. So yeah. Also the backpack, he has a backpack as well. Now that is another one of my biggest gripes, because that's an all-out plastic one. Because when compared to the Action Man German Stormtrooper, that too has a backpack, but it's actually made of leather and cloth, so that actually is a lot more accurate and better. With this backpack, it's just full-on plastic. There's nothing on it that is soft. So, yeah, that's two big gripes. Well, three, actually, if you're including the movements of the hands and stuff. So, yeah. But, I mean, all in all, he is a great-looking figure. I must admit, he is really good-looking. And also, I do say I will put the gas mask on him and see how he looks. So I'll just do that and I'll get right back to you. Okay guys, so this is what he looks like with the gas mask on him, and to be honest with you, it looks really goofy, because now that I put the gas mask on him, that helmet just looks way too chunky and too big for his head. Like I said, the helmet just sits there. There's no straps to hold it on. So, if a child was like, playing with him and thrashing him and bashing him around, that helmet's just gonna come off. Like, there's nothing that you could do about it, unless you want to, like, either super glue the helmet to his head, which I would highly not recommend, or if you want to add some straps to the helmet, you can do that. But yeah, that helmet is just gonna keep falling off, so yeah, that's the biggest gripe I do have with this figure. It is terrible. For the figure itself, I would say I would give this guy a, I don't know, probably like a 5 out of 10, because all in all, I do love the uniform. It is really nice, because, like I say, I prefer the World War One uniforms to the World War Two uniforms. But the only reason I'm giving him such a low rating is because of the gripes, like the hands not being able to turn properly, the helmet hasn't got a strap, and the backpack, well, that's just a big fat chunky piece of plastic that just sits on his back and it just wobbles around. It doesn't have a tight fit or anything, so yeah, I'm only going to give this guy a low rating. But if all those things were perfect, I'd possibly rate this guy a 10. Anyways, guys, this has been Stormy Rebel on my first review on an action figure, and that action figure is the World War One G.I. Joe Foreign Soldier. So, thank you guys for watching.